Hey folks, it's Shane from Performance EV. Today we're going to have to say goodbye to my custom drive shafts. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you new to this channel, this is my project to put a Nissan Leaf motor into a Porsche 911, and today we're focusing on the drive shafts. So for those of you who've been watching for a while or have gone back and watched all my old videos, you've seen that a few months ago I created some custom drive shafts to go in the car. So those were essentially the two ends of the drive shafts from the Porsche and the Nissan Leaf, butted up together with a sleeve around them, which I then welded on either side. And they work, they're fine. I haven't had any issues, but then I've only really been driving it very short distances. In order to make this car kind of road legal, these aren't going to be the way we want to go, so I need to get someone to make up some proper drive shafts for this, based on the kind of lengths and the two ends that I have on it. So I found a company that's willing to do it. There's a little challenge on the outer CV joints in that Porsche didn't design them to be easily dismantled, which is a bit of a pain, but these guys sound like they can do it, and yeah, seemed happy to help. So what I'm going to do is basically get these drive shafts out. Now, unfortunately, because of the combination of drive shafts and that I have, it's not as easy as removing the drive shafts from a Porsche, where you just unbolt one end, drop it down below the transmission and pull it out. These ones are, well, the Leaf side is part of a front wheel drive kind of drivetrain, so they're designed in such a way that you actually need to pull the entire CV joint out of the gearbox, and that means that the only way I'm going to get enough space to do that is if I remove not just the wheels but also the hubs that the wheels attached to. So I'm hoping that I don't have to remove everything, that I can just kind of pry stuff out of the way, but we'll see how we get on. Yeah, might take a while, but let's get to it. So this came out way easier than I thought they were going to. I guess I spent enough time messing around with the kind of all the bolts on the suspension when I was first trying to get the fake drive shafts in. So kind of know how it all goes together. What I did find was there were 1 or 2 bits and pieces of the suspension that are looking a bit ropey. So I'm going to order some control arms and shocks at some point before I get the drive shafts back, so I can just kind of tighten everything up with a few new components. I'm not going to completely refresh it because that would cost a lot, but there are a few things like ball joints, the ball joints where the kind of rubber on them is a little bit cracked and dying, so I'll replace those. I'll replace the shock absorbers. The springs still look good, so I'll probably reuse those. They're the sports ones anyway, but for now it's just really get those drive shafts off to the professionals so they can strip them down, measure them, and basically create me something new that will be able to handle the type of power that I want to put through this thing, be road legal, and keep everyone happy and keep me safe. So with those out of the way now, and having gotten that done much faster than I thought I was going to, what I need to do now is just find something else productive to do. So we took these out the other day. These are the old dead engine mounts, and the kind of area that they bolted into is still in place in the car, so they're still blocking the way of the me actually getting the battery box into the car. So what I want to do now is basically go and get those out. Not quite sure how it's going to happen, so I'm going to try and drill out the spot welds, but the drill bit I have for that is really on its last legs, so if that doesn't work, I'm probably just going to cut them out. This is the first time I've actually gotten a power tool other than like a wire brush or the impact driver at this car, so I'm a little bit apprehensive about it. It'll be the first time I'm doing anything really destructive that it's not going to make it impossible to put the car back together if I wanted to as a petrol engine car, which I have no plans to, but I wanted to see if I could keep it that way so it was totally reversible. But at this point I've got a shape in mind for the battery box. I know how I want it to fit, and doing it with the those mounting points in place just isn't going to work. So let's go and see how easy it is to remove them. When in doubt, an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel will solve most of your problems. So these are the mounts that I cut out. They're heavy duty. I mean, they're well designed. They're not heavy duty metal, but you know, the shapes in them are designed to be able to take the weight properly. So yeah, they're interesting to see how they're done. But the important thing is they're out now. So we've got the drive shafts out and on their way up the country to get something proper built. We've got the space cut out here. So I think what I'm going to be doing next video is basically just trying to cut a few bits and pieces off the frames that I've made for the battery box, and then just try and offer them up to the car, see how they fit, and you know, maybe shave a few extra pieces, make a few extra cuts here and there until I get them in a position where they'll fit up into the space. Then I'll figure out if there's any extra reinforcement or bracing that's needed on them, get them all level, and then use that to figure out, right, what sort of support do I need to put in the car to then hold on to this battery box frame. And then once that's in place, we'll kind of pull it all out, make sure it's all tight and secure and everything, and then put the battery into the battery box and hopefully put the battery box into the car. It's probably not going to happen that easily, but that's the plan. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this first cuts that I've made on the car, and finally getting things back on track and moving forward again. I hope you've enjoyed it or found this video useful. If you have, consider dropping a comment or liking, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. But yeah, till then, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.